Last week, and I'm not even kidding when I say this, I think I spent 16 hours on the phone. And for those hours, like the entire time, I was using the Pixel Buds. And that week radically changed how I feel about these. That's because up until that point, I was mainly using these to listen to music. But we're gonna talk a little bit more about sound later in the video. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's start out by talking about the build. The build is killer. Like, I really dig it. It has a soft touch material that feels like welcoming, as odd as that sounds, and I really like this white and black color scheme. But if you're not a fan of it, like if you don't dig it as much as I do, there are other color options that can better suit your preferences. And I really like the case as well. It opens naturally and it closes with a really satisfying click, and the earbuds fit in well and they're really easy to take out. Something surprisingly a lot of companies do not get right. It's a similar size case to the AirPods Pro, but the matte finish means that it shows scratches a lot less than the glossy white finish on the Pro's case. And it also has two LED indicators, one for the case and one for the headphones, which is a really nice touch. USB Type-C is at the bottom as like a little cherry on top of that A1 hardware sundae, and I'm already kind of regretting saying that, so let's just move on. Battery life. It's decent. They report 5 hours with the earbuds and 24 with the case, so on paper that's not excellent, but I personally don't use my headphones for 5 hours straight. Like, I'm always taking a break, putting them back in their case, and then taking them back out. So the battery life is good for me. And the case has built-in wireless charging, which is a nice add-on, and it also has fast charging, so if you're running low, you can put the earbuds in the case for 10 minutes and get an additional 2 hours of use. That's great. And the headphones are an in-ear design, so their design is closer to like the Galaxy Buds Plus or the AirPods Pro, and not similar to the regular AirPods, which just rest on your ear and not in your ear. That means that they're a little bit less comfortable if you're not used to that, but as someone that doesn't love in-ear headphones, I did get used to it pretty quickly. The actual tip that goes in your ear is also a little bit harder than some other headphones that I've tried, so that also took a little bit of an adjustment, but again, I got used to it pretty quickly. And the headphones also have built-in ear tips, so they're non-removable, which I know it's kind of getting mixed feedback in reviews. Since I don't use my headphones ever for more than 2 hours, they personally don't bother me, and I really like it because it makes it stay in my ear well. But if you're planning on using it for an extended period of time, some people have reported discomfort. I think it also really just depends on your ear type. The earbuds have touch controls built into the back of them, and the controls are excellent and intuitive, and the space is big enough to use it, but not so big to the point that they look awkward in your ear. The controls that they have set up by default work really well for me, but if they're not to your preference, you can actually use a built-in app to change them. I also want to note here that these headphones do not have active noise cancellation. So they have passive noise isolation, which basically means that all of the noise isolation that you get relies on how deep these headphones go into your ear and not technology. And that means that they won't be amazing if you're going to take them in like a really noisy environment like a plane, because you probably won't be able to get them to like a comfortable volume level. But I don't actually hate that they don't have active noise cancellation. I love active noise cancellation, but sometimes it can feel like a little bit overbearing or uncomfortable after a while. So I kind of like the break with having it just be passive noise isolation. And from like a marketing standpoint, it definitely gives Google room to come out with like the Pixel Buds Plus, like Apple did with the AirPods Pro. And those would be like a more expensive headphone with active noise cancellation. So I don't really mind that it's not here, but it does definitely limit the use cases of these headphones a little bit. Another thing that kind of limits these headphones actually is the app. So although I said it is useful, it is missing one key feature that I am kind of bummed about, and that's the ability to customize the sound profile of these headphones. Why am I bummed about that, you may be asking? The answer is that I'm not too keen on how they sound out of the box. So I started out this video by saying that 16-hour phone call week really changed my opinion on these headphones, and the reason it did is because up until that point, I was using them mainly for music, and for music, in my personal opinion, they don't sound excellent. They lack a general fullness and warmth that I'm accustomed to and that I enjoy, and they definitely miss a little bit of like that bass and that oomph. So while they sound like passable and they're okay, I never really like look forward to listening to music on these. The instrument separation is pretty nice, and I think for some people, they'll like it. I definitely don't hate it. It's just not as good as some other headphones I've tested, but that 16-hour phone call week changed my opinion on them because obviously I wasn't listening to music, I was listening to people speak. And for voices, it sounds great. It's crisp and it gets loud. So phone calls, this is gonna be awesome. Watching videos, again, great. Podcasting, especially, this will be great. So for those three use cases, this was a great audio experience, and the microphones, since there's two microphones on these headphones, were also really good. So people on the other end reported that they could hear me clearly, and I'm actually gonna give you a sample of that right now so you know for yourself. This is a quick audio test of the Pixel Buds. They're going directly into the recording app on the Pixel 4a, and you should expect a review of the Pixel 4a coming soon. So if you're planning on using these headphones a lot for listening to podcasts and taking phone calls, which a lot of people do with truly wireless headphones, then I think you're going to be impressed. And for music, I think that you won't be extremely disappointed. You just might not be amped about it. It would be great to see Google add the option to customize your sound profiles in the app, and we may see that. There definitely are a lot of features in the application, so it's not unrealistic to think that that could be added in the future, but I wouldn't buy these hoping that that update will come. I would just buy them knowing what you know now. And dude, you know what podcast you could listen to on here that would sound epic? My podcast. This is a shameless plug. Go check it out, link below. We talk about technology and internet culture and behind the scenes of these YouTube videos. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. Thanks for all the love in it so far. All right, and here's a few other things that you're probably gonna wanna know before you buy these. These headphones don't pack auto multi-device pairing, which is a convenience that I definitely have enjoyed in other pairs of headphones and that I'm definitely missing on these. It does work with iPhones in limited functionality, which is nice. So if you just like these a lot for their design and you're an iOS user, you can still get them and you will be able to listen to music on them and podcasts and whatever. And if you're using them on Android, they have Google Assistant built in, which is high key one of my favorite features of these. Having the assistant like right in your ear to just ask it random things all the time is great. And I can actually see people kind of just wearing these all the time, like around their house, just to have that easy assistant in their ear to put on a podcast or ask the weather or any other question. That's definitely an added benefit of these headphones and something that I definitely really enjoyed on them. And then you're also gonna wanna know the price. It's $179, which kind of places this headphone in a weird part of the market because it's a little bit less expensive than the regular AirPods, but it's more expensive than the Galaxy Buds Plus, which offer a very similar value proposition. That means that if you're on the iOS side of things, you should probably just get the AirPods, but if you're in the Android world, these definitely could be worth your attention with the awesome build, decent battery life, wireless charging and fast charging, and a really nice design. These definitely are worth your attention, but you may also want to look at the Galaxy Buds Plus, and if you want to see a full review on that, let me know by leaving a comment. If you want to check out my video on the AirPods Pro, you can click here, and if you're more interested in the Android world, click for a video about that here. Thanks so much for watching this video, really appreciate your support, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.